Afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all been having a good weekend. I have. And I'm back with part 3 of N-Gen Racing, short for Next Generation. Yeah. It had a bright start, this game, but it is wearing me out a bit now. It's just a bit samey, and I'm not sure that the combat mechanics in the game really do anything useful. But yeah, good afternoon, Ovo. Hope you're well, and good afternoon, Icy. And yeah, I see you've been enjoying my little review panels there. That's nice to see. And yeah, are you surprised I like Porsche Unleashed? I thought it was quite good. Still morning where you are. Very well. Yeah, but I was in York last night at a little mini festival, but weather was terrible, so I just drove straight home this morning. You sure no? Wait, where did I get up to? Last time out, I beat the fighter level, the S fighter. We're in X fighter now. Did I not buy a new plane? Yeah, we beat all them. So it's time for X Fighter. Okay, so I didn't buy a new plane. Let's go shopping. So I'm hoping to get this game over the line today, but the X Fighter Championships I think are both a couple of laps longer per race and a race per championship longer. Let's go back to that menu. And the endurance is currently an unknown quantity. We just don't know how long that will take. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. There is a lot of planes in this game. Oh, top speed, top acceleration, almost top turn rate. Just crappy strength. And I've got the money. Yeah, this is a strange thing. They've put a lot of planes in, but it's illusion of choice. I've got no good reason to ever select most of these. I guess the challenge mode does have you test those, but yeah, there's no reason to buy any other plane but this one, is there? If. Right, if I need money for upgrades, I can go selling the older stuff. So, how much does this cost? 90 million for full engine upgrade. It's already got auto thrust vectoring. But I've forgotten what that is. Bought. Afterburner enhancements, 110 for the full lad, and this doesn't have the doubler. This increases strength, which is just my health bar, basically, I think. So, bottom priority. This one doesn't have any aerodynamic enhancements. It just doesn't even let me in the menu. Hence that's the annoying clicking me trying to get in, just to prove the point there. Right, solid, let's go racing. So yeah, the previous round of cups were 7 laps each, 4 races. These are 9 laps and 5 races. Let's see how we get on. If you go fast enough, you can avoid the bullets. Yeah, that is some top race strategizing there. But there's health pickups everywhere too. So as long as you're not getting rinsed between pickups, you're fine. fuck! Alright, it's fast. Okay. Let's turn the monitor down a bit. Half a second, well, 2/3 of a second off, but that was pretty clumsy. Not going to worry too much about that. Oh, fuck. 2 missed checkpoints and it's a disqualification. I'm glad the game doesn't get any faster than this, because this feels like my limit. Those who haven't seen the previous, the green circles are the health, orange is speed boost, or afterburner, it gets referred to in this. You also get extra speed flying close to the ground. Have a little mechanic to stop you cheesing it by just going as high as possible to avoid all the obstacles. Oh, no, no, no. Bollocks. There's no point starting this with a disqualification. Save that for later if I need it. Exactly the same gap off the leader as my last qualifying attempt. 0.66. Suspicious. I think at this level I need to be a bit more smart about where I deploy my boost in order to, well, not shaft myself. As I almost did there. Uh-oh. Fuck me. Having a bit of a shocker. I need health. Fuck me. As the leader. There they are. These races are too long. Uh-oh. Yeah, over. Well, one of the issues, like, as well as them being a bit fast and a bit dangerous, one of the issues as a racing game is, like, the loss of contact with the surface means there's one less element to the game, you know? In, say, like, an off-road mixed surface game, every surface can give you different handling, things like that, and what can you have in a flying game? A nasty breeze. Yeah, this is very much going to be one of those games where I can only really chat between the races. Because as soon as I take my eyes off it, it's a crash. Uh-oh. I think first few laps, just take it easy. familiarize myself with the route, and then I can start pushing. Oh, fuck me. You know what? I think I was getting caught by the same out of bounds on the last stream. I get fixated on the gate and then the route suddenly pulls off to the left. Gate, the pickup. Oh, I thought that was the trick one. That's this one, maybe. No. That one. The first one. Got it. If you go out of bounds, when you go out of bounds, there's a little timer that ticks down, and that hits 0. Autopilot engages to slowly return you to the track. So that's the punishment. Track limits. Oh, fuck! Oh, greedy. On reflection, I think disqualification might be a bit harsh for just 2 missed checkpoints. Maybe 1 freebie, and then just start applying like slowdown penalties every time you miss one. Every time you miss one, the penalty gets worse. you go aggressive, they are surprisingly easy to miss. Okay, tied at the top. If it's the same opponent winning every time, that might mean I can't afford a single disqualification. Well, yeah, 3 races to go. If the other fella's winning every time, yeah. Yeah, the maths doesn't work out. Hey, Cole. By the way, guys, don't forget that the vote for the next game concludes at the end of this one. Taxi 2 had a 5-vote lead at the start of the stream. That's all to play for. I need some health. Ah. I think that is not the Champo rival in first, so that is good news. It is now. They've just shot to the front. Champo rival is in the same plane as me. Haven't even bothered trying to use the weapons today. Just set my defensive weapon on and let it sit. Got enough to deal with. Champo rival came second, so 2-horse race. How long have we been going? I didn't do any boost on that first lap. But we've started now. It's like a pretty straightforward track. Pretty much an oval, isn't it? Almost. Already lapping a guy. Get over that line. Biff. Alright, 6-point lead. So, fourth place in the last race would have us tie. Any higher than that is a win, so play it safe. track markings are harder to see on this one. The colour is clashing. Right, okay, that's promising. I was worried about how much of a challenge this series might present, and using the cunning strategy of buying the best plane. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just got to be sensible with it. So yeah, the difficulty's not really getting close to the skill ceiling of the game. You know, there is a bit in hand in that perspective. That trophy looks like a knob. Cool. So 2 more X-Fighter Championships to do, and then whatever's in Endurance. That took us just over half an hour. So yeah, we'll get to Endurance in an hour, it looks like. Ooh. 255, can afford it, let's have. And afterburner power up. And yeah, let's buy the extra strength. I did actually get a little close to low health a couple of times when I was flying like an idiot. Besides, I've got nothing left, nothing else to spend that money on, so I may as well. Pretty fast. And none of the opponents are flying the same plane as me. This could be quite easy. I'll catch up with you in a sec, mate. This is unfortunately one of those can't read while racing games. This started out as fun, Bear. It is a decent game, very well made, plays very smoothly. It's just got a bit samey. Yeah, I was thinking before, actually. I forgot to raise a point after the race. Because I've made it clear I'm just not engaging with the combat controls in this because A, they're a bit bad, they seem a bit weak, and they do distract me from the flying, and that's completely the opposite to how NASCAR Rumble was, because in NASCAR Rumble, the driving itself was very easy, and that did leave you with the capacity to engage with the combat if you wanted. You know, it's one of the balances you got to strike in these kind of combat races, I guess. You know, you got to make sure that the player has enough bandwidth to actually do both. And in this, I don't. But the weapons are rubbish anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, happy Easter, mate. Hope you're having a good one. But yeah, also the first cup taking half an hour, meaning should be on endurance in an hour, has certainly increased my confidence that we'll be finishing this game today. Yeah, that comes up a lot in this challenge, Bear, where I would probably enjoy the games a lot more if I was engaging with them more normally in shorter sessions. But it's streaming. I can't just keep firing up. I could fire up 30-minute streams if I wanted, I guess, but yeah, I'd much rather do a bigger session. Hey, Shadow, have a good day, mate. Enjoy your time with your family. Yeah, it came up with NASCAR Rumble. I did a bit off stream to just get a little bit more retro achievements because I just needed to do one thing to get the beaten status, because I didn't do a wildcard cup on stream. And yeah, in like half an hour sessions, it's a better game for playing it like that, you know. When I closed up the stream on Thursday, it was very much a case of I had had enough of this game for that day. Normal circumstances, I might have pushed on a bit longer, but I'd had my fill. If I played Bug Riders off stream, this is going to surprise you. No, No, I do not. I never so much as looked at that game again. Once I was done with it, it was... And yeah, ESPN, that did have retro achievements. And somehow in the 8 or 9 hours I was playing it, I only unlocked one. Right? Rather than what I might do sometimes of go and clean up off stream, I actually went and deleted my progress on retro achievements just to get it off my profile. Never done that with any other game. But I just wanted no mention of it. No reminder. Another interesting thing in this game is, you know, it has the plane shop and the upgrade system, but the currency, the prize money has been generous enough that I've not really had to engage with it. You know, I was able to just go straight in and buy the best plane for this difficulty level and get most of the upgrades. So what's the point in having it if I don't really have to make any choices of do I want A or B, you know? Or do I start with this plane and work my way up to the best one or anything like that? It's a little bit of a missed opportunity perhaps from a design perspective. Because if there's one obviously best choice and you have the means to make that choice, is it really a choice at all? You know, the only reason I'd go for any other plane but this one would be if I was trying to make the game harder. And it would be a conscious decision to do that. As it stands, I don't want to make the game harder. I just want it ticked and done. That ridge baits me every time, because these pickup gates, you can see them through other scenery. So I point myself towards it, then some land appears in front of it. It's here, I'm going to remember this time, don't go immediately for it. Let the land pop in. Saying players will optimize the fun out of games. That's what people are going to do if you make the best craft easily accessible. Yeah. And, you know, it's a... brought up an excellent point before the game, so like Gran Turismo 4 starts off hard but gets easier as you get better cars. Yeah, and, well, how do you balance that? Because you say, oh, if you know, you make the cars and the parts the reward, but yeah, you make the game trivial. Now the reward, I guess, and later Gran Turismos do it a bit better with like performance limits for different classes, things like that. They initially brought it in at a basic level with 2 and became more. Like another way of progression would just be access to other series, things like that. But in Gran Turismo, it is just such a fundamental part of the game to be able to upgrade the shit out of everything. So, tricky. But then, like, where do you balance the game? Do you balance it against a fully upgraded car or an entry-level lad, or... And then you can argue, oh, well, the player shouldn't over-upgrade the car if they want a challenge, but then I'm left... You know, when I play a game, I want to beat a challenge that was set by someone else, not a challenge that I've set myself. You know? Now, when we had the Gran Turismo 2 playthrough here, I did manage to make it a bit more fun, because I was trying to optimize my spending so I didn't have to do currency grinding. You know, and that stopped me from over-upgrading because I'd want to save the cash to buy other cars. But that's more because I'm lazy and I don't like grinding. But it did, yeah, it made it a bit more fun. And we did largely get away without doing any grinding, which was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. Everyone was convinced I had to find a farm event, and I just didn't. Because I was a tight-fisted bastard with my money. But I'll take the same approach when we get to Gran Turismo 1. Rinsed through my supply of defensive missiles. Yeah, this one's been a little more challenging because there's been less place to make use of my speed boosts. Got a maxed bar of afterburner because I've got nowhere to drop it, which means I haven't been able to pull as big or as silly a gap as I normally do. yeah, that's class progression. I guess Gran Turismo has that too, with getting access to lots of more expensive cars. But then it complicates it with the upgrades too. Yeah, I think with the race to go, that's the championship already won there. Cool. One more to go, and then we unlock endurance mode. Yeah, and when it comes to more racing sims, I do kind of miss that progression. Hopefully some good single-player career modes will get added to the current crop soon. I believe they're all working on one. iRacing's got one on the way. I believe Le Mans Ultimate's meant to be working on one. Automobilista 2's meant to be working on one. We don't talk about Project Motor Racing, although that does apparently have one. And then there's big question marks over what Assetto Corsa Evo is doing. Their solo campaign. Of course, what the whole hubbub about AC Evo stepping back from doing an economy system, like the reaction that got just proves how many people are wedded to the idea of having a currency upgrade system. You know, I'm not that fussed about it, but a lot of people really are. Yeah, apparently PMR did a big update recently which revamped the physics a bit. But they had to lay off half of the staff after the initial shitstorm. So it's hard to know if they've even got the means to meet their promises now. Biff. Okay. The Sunstorm Medal. Going about an hour, so another 30 minutes for this cup. Another reminder for people to get their votes in. Oh, fuck me. Well, that is a legit issue there. If you're gonna have a hardcore mode in your game, a hardcore career mode, that game needs to be super fair. And if the opponents are behaving like you describe, that's not fair. It's just outright bad. No, a good use, like, you know, the games around the PS3 era, they started introducing things like flashback systems, which kind of cheapen it for me. You know, there's obviously no peril when you can just undo all your mistakes. And yeah, the same applies to having a restart button on your race, but on the other hand, those are tools that can counter when the game shits the bed a bit and does something unfair. So a nice little middle ground I always thought was what the older F1 games did, where they had a limited amount of rewinds, so it'd stop you abusing it. It was a limited resource that you could save for when you really needed it. Thought it was a smart little middle ground. There we go. Yeah, I think the maximum you could set was maybe 5 for the older F1s. But you could configure what your limit was. And maybe there was the option for unlimited as well. I was also thinking, because I was playing Isle of Man 2 recently, and that did the thing where if you, it doesn't have rewinds, but it does have race restart, but you get less prize money if you use it. Which is another way of balancing it, but yeah, it's just currency, isn't it? It's not really a big deal. I've given up on that game now. I've had my fun with it, but I unlocked a hardcore mode where if you have a crash bad enough, it just ends your season. There was no way I was ever going to turn that on for that game. Like the way the bikes can just suddenly spit you out, just wiping out your season like that, that's a no from me. It's a shame. That's ultimately what turned me off the game. That it could just be so punishing out of nowhere. Fuck, missed. I've got 3 in my library as well, so I'll probably pick that up next year and have a go. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, maybe have a look. Not in a rush for more games at the moment because I've got that Nacon Humble Bundle. I think in January. It's where I got the 2 TT games. It also gave me V Rally 4 and a big bunch of WRC games. So I think my next game will be one of those. Spend a few hours on it, see how it is. I think V Rally 4 will be a controller game rather than rather than a wheel one, but the others should be for the wheel. It was WRC 7, 8, 9, 10, and Generations. I already had 7 and 8 though, so I ended up giving those keys away. That was a good deal. It was like £8 I paid for all of those. Yeah. 5 WRC games, 3 Rally 4 and 2 TT games. Absolute deal. Oh god, that was risky. But Nacon, didn't they go out of business recently or something? Or have some restructuring or some shit. Which might explain why they were doing the Humble Bundle. Desperately get a few extra dollars. Oh shit. Oh no! Shit! Yeah. The main difficulty in this game is when you're struggling to see the track. It's okay. We can afford 1 DQ. Yeah, ultimately when this game's been most difficult, it's because I'm failing to find my way around the track rather than the opponents being particularly competitive. Or at least it has been with this craft. Yeah, that's a worry for rally games as well, though, Bear, because after EA gave up the World Rally Championship license, Nacon picked it back up, and we're gonna get back on that, so question marks over that. Of course, there is a set of Corsa Rally as well now, so we're okay for rally games, I dare say. Uh-oh. People really seem to love set of Corsa Rally. I'm waiting for the full version to be released. Fuck. I have a little bit of trouble with this track. Generally, just a couple of awkward corners to see have just been screwing me over a bit. Like that. Where it turns after a bit of scenery. You don't see the beacons until you're on it. Track this one, it seems. Probably not gonna bother with Wreckfest 2 just because I didn't enjoy Wreckfest 1 that much. Too much faffing around with upgrades. And the crashes feel really weak in that game. It's like the cars are made out of foam or some shit. It's really weird. Don't know how to describe how it's wrong, but it just feels wrong. But like really unsatisfying. Although I did like the novelty races in that. Champo. Well, I think it just leaves the endurance section now, and I've been curious as to... Oh, why? Oh, what the fuck? Sure, I set my stream to record, but apparently it's not. Never mind. I'll have to download the VOD for YouTube instead. Okay, just about scraped that disqualification. You may now participate in the X-Fighter class Magic 12 speed trials and check your aircraft. I think that was the game's way of saying I've unlocked a bonus craft. Which is quite underwhelming. Normally a game would show you what you've won. But this game just says, have a look in your garage. Oh. The stats on that fucker. But it doesn't tell me what class it is, but I assume that's an X class. Oh, it's got an X in the name. Maybe that's a clue. But then we've got this, which also is maxed out, but is a different class. Yeah, all these WASP branded ones. Oh well. That'll be 1 fighter level, 1 S level, 1 X level. Right, what's going on here? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, okay, so endurance doesn't mean that the races have got any longer. There's still 9 laps. But the track list, all 14 tracks, twice. Ah, shit. So those previous cups were 5 tracks. And doing all 15 tracks took me about an hour and 20, hour and 25. So these are going to take about an hour and 20 each. Fucking hell. I am livid. Right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a 3-minute break. And then we're going to do the Amachi Black Star Trophy. At which point I'll have another break. And then we'll do the Muscle Diamond Star. So yeah, back in a few. Cool. Cool, thanks for waiting, guys. I am back, and I am still quite angry about this. So I've got myself a delicious lager beer to calm me down. And no, you read it right. The black trophy for the day tracks, and the gold one for the night. Hey, if you didn't know though, Bear, apparently PS1 Crash Team Racing has been modded to give it online support through emulators or something. Maybe someone else has a link or something, but there is means. Not tried it myself, so I can't vouch for it, but I've been informed. But yeah, Crash Team Racing is so good. Probably the best racing game on the PS1. Probably. Still got another 100 and odd to play. Huh. 1.3 seconds off. I did game, it was kind of an all-round course, so a bit of game design, bit of programming. Never turned into a career, and part of the reason was because it was, you know, it wasn't a specialist course. So within the course, I specialised programming, but it just meant I came out of university a year, 2 years behind people who did a dedicated programming degree, you know. So it was a mistake to do that course with hindsight, but unfortunately there was no one around to point that out to me. And I made that choice. You know, if I had the determination and the discipline, I could have overcome that. You know, there was one programmer on my course who went to work on Star Citizen. But I don't think only a handful of the people on the course specialised programming. I think it was only that person who got a games career out of it. Bunch of artists from the course went on to work at Traveller's Tales on the Lego games, and another fella, I saw his name in the credits for Max Payne 3 and Grand Theft Auto 5, which was cool. Oh, I just got done on the line. Ugh. Wait, no. No, I was okay. What? That just... Okay, 9 points, I'll have it. 5 years wasted at law school. Yeah, unfortunately, like for me, it was once I was on the course, I had to finish it. Because of the financial situation of my family and because of how student financing worked at the time, it was literally a case of I finish this degree or I never get a degree. So that's what I did. Because you can get up to 4 years higher education funding, or you could at the time. And I'd spent one of those years doing like a adult college course. I actually did electrical engineering at college, and that was a no-go. So I did a year of adult college, which in turn led on to being able to do a degree. And then that was it. Then I worked in Subway for 5 years. Oh, fuck. If these championships are going well, maybe I could tactically disqualify myself from a race or two to hurry things along. A couple of drop rounds. Okay, we're lapping second place. Fifth. Oh, we've already got a 6-point lead after 2 races. Like 9 points for a win, so... it's one opponent finishing second every time, it looks like, so... there's less disqualification potential. But, you know, if the other craft were taking points off each other, I could be even more aggressive in the race skipping. There's a big part of me that would love a new career, but I just don't know what I could do. So... I'm not having a good time in my current work, but I need the money. And I don't know what else to do. So, even if I did have an idea... Well, no, that's the problem. I don't have an idea of what else to do. So it's not like I can make a plan to pursue it. Oh, ah! didn't miss a checkpoint. By the way, I didn't say hello properly to Craig. Sorry, mate. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm such a rude lad. Ah! Yeah, I'm good, Craig. Been a nice weekend. Yeah, well, the health pickups are generous enough that the combat's largely pointless because it barely hinders people unless you manage to deplete all their health, and I've never managed that. And the game's fast enough at this level that, yeah, it's just a distraction. Makes me crash. I haven't fired a single missile in this stream today. Glad to hear you good, Craig. Yeah, I was at a bit of a music festival yesterday, my friend's festival over in New York, so a good time was had. But weather was pretty poor this morning, so I didn't bother going for a walk before I came home. Yeah, absolutely. What did I do on Friday? Not a lot. Oh yeah, I went to visit a friend on Friday. They're a bit unwell at the moment, so I went to spend some time with them. Hopefully raise the spirits a little bit. Friday night I had my second online go with Le Mans Ultimate. I was intending to stream it, but I ended up having too long of an early evening nap, so that nukes that idea. You guys been up to anything fun with your weekends? Afternoon, Dabus. I'm good, mate. Hope you're having a good one. Hope I wasn't in a tent in this. No, it was just a one-day thing, Bev. It was indoors. I booked a hotel room. I tell you what, York is not a cheap hotel room on Easter weekend. 130 quid for a room in a pub, B&B. Oof. Just because I wanted a few pints at the festival. I should have just stayed sober and driven home. I'd have been like, if you include the price of the pints as well, I'd be like 180 quid richer if I just didn't drink. Nah, I had a really good time though. You don't have all the DLC and it annoys you. Yeah, it is one of the things that annoys me about LMU as well. Not because it has DLC, not even because it pushes it. It's because there's two ways to go about it. There's the just buy the DLC method, but if you want to do online championships and stuff, you need a subscription. But then they have a subscription plus, which unlocks all the DLC for you. So now I've got a decision. Am I going to play this game enough where I should probably maybe just go like do I just buy the shit, or do I get it through the sub? And it's friction, you know. Went to hospital Friday. Oh, so that was a good hospital in that you were confirmed that you're fully fixed. That's good. But starting a new job in a country hotel? Excellent, mate. I hope it works out well for you. Yeah, the festival in question, it's, well, a friend runs it. I play there on alternating years, but I go anyway when I'm not playing. A, to support my friends, and B, because it's a really good day. Trying to remember what some of the silliest stuff was. So it's like a full cabaret. There's musical acts, but they also have like stupid games between and shows between the musical acts. And I think the weirdest one this year that was new to me was one called Dolphin Training, which was so there was someone in a wetsuit and there was a bunch of items on the ground, and her gimmick was that she trained dolphins through peer pressure. And so someone from the crowd would get chosen to be the dolphin. They would hide their eyes. The woman would demonstrate, right, I want them to pick up this item and do this with it. Like there was a doll and she'd cuddle it. And then the person would come back and the crowd had to instruct them what to do by booing and cheering. So if they reached for the wrong item, we'd all boo. If they could pick up the correct one, we'd cheer. It was just really stupid. But then it finished. She said, oh, I've got one more. But then someone appeared from backstage in a massive shark, like inflatable shark costume, got into a fight with the dolphin trainer, and then they started making out and ran off to a room. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, it's a brilliant day out. And I got asked to play next year, so I'm definitely going again. Yeah, York's a great town, but also expensive. Well, by the way, progress update for you now. We've unlocked the final section of championships, the endurance one. And the races aren't any longer, but the championships are 14 races long. That's the endurance element. I was most displeased when I saw it. So we're looking about there's 2 of them. We're looking at about an hour 15, hour 20 per champo. But we could cut it down with some tactical race disqualifications. Spend some of my points lead. I'll just save that for the end when I'm unassailable, rather than taking a risk earlier. Yeah. And you were right that the X level was quite easy. Because the game's quite generous with currency, I was able to just immediately buy the best craft and do half of the upgrades, so There's been no repeats or anything like that. Anyway, we already have a points lead there of 19 points, which is 2 wins and a point to spare worth. That's 2 skips I've got in my pocket. Yeah, I mean 14 tracks is a decent amount of track, but you know, you could just have more cups rather than 2 massive cups. I don't know. You know, maybe another couple of 5-round cups, but they've turned up the opponents a bit, anticipating that I would be fully upgraded by now. Rather than what is effectively a chore. And the 2 cups as well, the only difference between them is one takes place in day and the other takes place at night. It's the same 14 tracks twice. In fact, I'll go so far as to say the reason I'm so annoyed is the fact that I'm just doing the same cup twice with different lighting. That is definite padding. You know, if it was one 14 race Champo, I'd be going, fair enough, but same one twice? Nah, that's bullshit, man. Maybe they didn't have to have it 9-lap races again. Maybe they could have gone down to 5 laps and 14 tracks. Ah, the opportunities are endless. Well, there has been... It might be that there's 7 tracks and then they're getting reversed 7 times for these 14 race cups. But reverse races has been a thing in this. Mirror has not. Thank God for that. Nothing lazier than a mirror mode. Race 7. Nearly halfway there. Out of the first one. 1/4 through the endurance mode. Ah, no! Made it. Ah, it's this one. Track's not great for the old visibility. Oh, fuck me. Where's the track gone? I had to engage the autopilot there to get me back on. Okay, we're going to lose a couple points on this one, but it doesn't really matter. And we missed a checkpoint. Oh no. Oh well. Jaded me? Never. Yeah. No, what I know is how to waste people's time. Ah, fuck, it's this one. Go! Go through. I was thinking of doing double dip streaming today. I boff this out, log out, have my tea, chill out for an hour, then come back and do the next game. But I think I might just be... I think this might be enough. I didn't realise endurance mode was gonna be this shit. Okay, 20-point lead, that's nearly 3 wins. Which means we can currently fuck this off after race 11. Tell you what we'll do. Thank you for the vote, by the way. That is what has inspired this next thought. After we finish this cup, I'll do a vote update and we can see how it's looking, because I think we've had a few threes, which means it might be really close. Because game 2 had a 5-vote lead at the start of the stream. Made it. Fuck. There it is. A bit lost there. Never mind waiting for the end of the cup, we'll do it after this race. Bored. Thought we might have been nearly done, there's another 4 laps. Made it.
I'm a cat queen. I'm a mean machine.
next one. I did look. Both the Vote game competitors have 1 hour long plays. Anyway, 23-point lead. Let's see where we're up to. I'll update the vote now. So that is... Oh, it's only been 3 votes. So there's been 1 vote for Taxi 2, so that's now on 24. 360, 360 is now on 20 with 2 votes today. Complete those. If anyone's not voted yet and wants to try and change the outcome, option 1 is Road Blasters, but that's not in the competition really anymore. Option 2 is Taxi 2. Option 3 is 360. There's buttons in the channel point redeems. A huge gap in speed. Yeah, there's a surprising amount of X tier craft you can buy. And it felt like a bit of a waste of effort on the developer's part because I've just gone straight for the best one. There's so many craft that nobody will ever touch. You know? Like the first of the X rank tournaments was the hardest because I came up against another of my craft and I wasn't fully upgraded yet. But since then it's been a bit... What's the word? Been a bit of a box ticking exercise. There we go, that'll do. Could do with some more music tracks as well. We've heard the same few a few too many times. guys playing any fun games at the moment? Uh-oh. Don't bin it now. No, it's not at all, Navis. I've had my fill of Mean Machine. What we got there? 26-point lead. Really? Am I? Yeah, I am. 26. That's not quite 3 wins. Okay, anything caught your eye? I've got quite a busy May. I probably won't be able to do anything that month, but apart from one Manchester gig, I've got nothing on in April. I'll have to see my family at some point, I guess. Production Endurance Challenge. Okay. Oh, Tsukuba actually. Yeah, that could be really spicy. You see that GT3 was at Summit Point this week, which meant a 3-hour endurance with a 60-car grid. Absolutely ridiculous. I was watching a streamer do it. They didn't survive long, but it was, yeah, as scruffy as you'd expect. fuck. There it is. I think I was okay. I had enough in hand. Imzo Endurance at Laguna Seca. Oh, that's a hard pass from me. I just can't enjoy Laguna. I don't know why. But the IMSA Vintage special event, I think I've already told you, got moved from Road America to Laguna Seca to like match a real life event. Put me off trying that. All gone. Right, 3 races left. Time to start disqualifying myself. That's the one, yeah. Oh no, I missed. Oh no. Whoops. Does it just lock in the results based on what order they were in at the point of disqualification? Because that was not my Champo rival in P1. That helps. I mean, unassailable lead anyway, but, you know. Mendoza! Raceway. Oh no, I missed. Whoops. Yeah, one of the F-15 Eagles won that time. It just means more points off the rival, so might hurry up that final cup. Whoops. Oh no. Oh, what a fool. I can't believe I did that again. Champion. Just look how happy he is. You've won the Amachi Black Star. Sure have. That's a lot of money that I don't need. Okay. 1 Champo remaining. Just gonna get a quick drink before this begins. Exactly, Nab. Sportsman and all that, you know. Right, let's get this game done. And then it'll be time to complete the vote. Find out who the winner is. Spin up some new vote options for game 335. And then decide what to do with the rest of my Sunday. Nice easy track to start with. I missed one boost, which means I'm qualifying fourth. Lapping P2. Biff. Nice short track, that one. $13 to go. What I might do this time through, rather than saving all my DQs for the end, every time I have a Champo lead of 10 points or more, I'll just skip the next race. Yeah, I feel like I need a little bit of a buffer actually, in case I do something stupid. 15 points. I'm not sure it would actually take that long. Because the game's just so generous with prize money. But there is a lot of craft, so... I've got, what, 2 billion in credits at the moment? 2.5? A lot of credits. Anyway, the reason for wanting to start skipping races early is to try and take advantage of the wacky simulated results that you get. Maybe I'll skip an extra race or two. Biff. Oh, we get to see. There we go. 2.6 bill. If only real life racing was this profitable, eh? Although Formula One is actually pretty profitable, isn't it? Since the popularity spike and the cost cap. Pace and plums. Yes, a lot safer. Alright, 14-point lead. They are taking chunks out of each other. That's good. What's that? Montrouge Airway. I don't want to skip a short race. That's my biggest worry. Be a waste of a skip. Alright, it's not a short one. Nope. Let's skip this one. Aye. Fuck. I'm making a pig's ear of skipping. There we go. Agreed, it's pretty repetitive by now, isn't it? Are you not a mean machine? Dominator. Dominator. Maybe a health would be nice. There's one. I think it's the only one on this track, actually. Hey, Bear. Ooh, I'm tired. Stretch. Old man. Ah. Which soundtracks are most memorable? There's an obvious winner. And I'll tell you why, because I've actually been listening to this soundtrack on YouTube over this weekend, and that's Ridge Racer Type 4. It is the only soundtrack, I think, in the challenge which I have actively seeked out outside of the game. Trying to remember, like, Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed was decent for being very on theme, but it's not super memorable in its own right. What else have we got? I can still remember songs from Circuit Beat. I think through sheer repetition and them being bad. But it was the really cheap digital instruments, I think. Like the tracks themselves, probably fine. Would have been nice to skip. I got that one. It's alright, just no mistakes. No more missed points. Come on. Hi, Paraglider. Love the Need for Speed 3 soundtrack. Yeah, well, that was my feeling at the time. I think maybe I had it on the default of techno then, I don't know. Tony Hawk games had great music, yes, but I would point out that that was just a licensed soundtrack. Whereas one of the reasons I rave about Ridge Racer 4 is the fact that it's a banging soundtrack of music composed for the game, and I think that's important, especially with the PS2 era. You know, those licensed soundtracks became a lot more common. You know, I think all Need for Speed games on the PS2, for example, had fully licensed soundtracks, and it's, you know, a licensed soundtrack can be great, but it can also be lazy. And I do feel that racing games are poorer for not really having fully bespoke, made for the game soundtracks like you get in Type 4. Yeah, I suppose, you know, the Tony Hawk soundtrack is great, and one of the reasons it's great is because the music was so well chosen for that game, rather than it just being, here's some popular music of the time. And what's brought this comment on is because I've just started thinking about Grand Theft Auto soundtracks, specifically the Vice City one. That absolutely banging selection of 80s like era appropriate bangers, like such a well chosen soundtrack. Whereas you get some game, it's just they've just slapped any old shit in, you know. Sorry, Nav, I've missed you. Odd songs here and there which stand out in the challenge, but it's hard to find full soundtracks. Fully agree. I spent after you raised that point initially, and I did sit here trying to think of other examples and just kind of drew a blank. And Mr. Bear comment as well. PS2 races like Burnout 3, another prime example, isn't it, Bear? Of a well-chosen licensed soundtrack. The custom radio hosts in Vice, yeah, it's a great point, and you know, it makes it a bit more than just a soundtrack, doesn't it? You know, they can almost justify their selections themselves. Through the DJs, can't they? I would love to see a new Grand Theft Auto game that's set in the 80s or 70s or 90s again. That's never going to happen. But a different city. I don't want a modern... I mean, they're kind of returning to Vice City with GTA 6, but I wouldn't like another 80s Grand Theft Auto in Vice City. I'd like it to be a new city if they were to do another 80s game. But they won't. So I'm just gassing. I don't know if I want to buy GTA 6 anyway, though, because Rockstar have apparently been union busting. And that's just wrong. Got a slap on the wrist there for track limits. You want a Chicago Mafia Grand Theft Auto? Have you tried the Mafia games, Bear? I've not, but if you've not, that might scratch that itch for you. But I bet you have. I've never tried Grand Theft Auto Online, so I don't know how it works. That's all this random stuff, but no police career. Would think could go down the crime or police path with unlocks and cops and robbers. Yeah, it'd be fun. But, yeah, I think I looked at it and thought, doesn't feel right, that game mode. In that, you know, it's very. There's a lot of microtransaction stuff in there, I believe, and I just look at it and go, yeah. Hey, Salty, you reckon base GTA 6 will be average so people have to buy the add-ons? What sort of add-ons? Are you talking like story add-ons, side missions, things like that, or? Right, I'm gonna... Oh, no, I think this is one of the easy tracks. Hit the points on this one. With GTA 5 for me, I basically did the story, did a bunch of the side quests, and then just called it a day and never went back to it, you know. It's just been so long, though, since they've released a mainline Grand Theft Auto game. It's hard to make any call on what we'll get and how the success of GTA 5 Online will influence what they do with the game. it'll be interesting to see. The thing with Grand Theft Auto for me, so it's very much in my mind a jack of all trades game, in that it has so many systems, but none of them tend to be the pinnacle of design, you know, the shooting mechanics or the driving mechanics. You know, there's always better examples in games that like focus on that one aspect. It's just that Grand Theft Auto has everything, and it, you know, it does it all reasonably well. Okay, that's interesting. You think it'll just be an attempt to directly funnel them to online? Okay. Right, 20-point lead. I'm gonna throw a race now. Red Dead 2 lives up to the hype? Okay. I've never played a Red Dead game, so I can't comment on that. I know people mostly love it. I do have one vocal friend, though, who kind of hates it. He just finds it a bit too drawn out, you know? Like they've over padded it almost, you know? Just finds it a bit tedious. But it's quite funny because me and that friend have a mutual friend who does work at Rockstar and did do a lot of work on Red Dead Redemption 2 online. And he is working on 6 at the moment. The graphic artist does did building interiors on Red Dead. He's never told me what he's doing on 6, but you know, I can take a guess. Alright, that seems to have worked out really well for me because I've still got a 17-point lead. Maybe let's throw another race to hurry this along, because I have had enough of this playing game. Well, it's an interesting point, Salty. I would perhaps counter-argue that if they get the story so wrong that it cops a bunch of bad reviews, it'd stop people going through the gate in the first place to perhaps get them into the online. But honestly, there's that much hype for the game. It's that big a brand that what I've said is probably irrelevant. People will buy it without looking at reviews, won't they? Whoops, I missed a gate. Oh, what a shame. Oh no. I missed Another. Alright, only 11-point lead now, so we'll do the next race. It's kind of incredible, though, that Rockstar have such a money-printing franchise in Grand Theft Auto, yet the calculation was that it would be more profitable to just milk GTA 5 online years than release another edition of what's probably the most popular, one of the most popular game franchises in the world. Kind of fascinating. Uh-oh. I could not see that fucker. Remember that GTA 5 is old enough that it got a release on PS3, didn't it? Insanity. Oh, fuck. Right, I'm just gonna cop the loss there. But I have to. Are you enjoying GTA 4? I thought it was okay. I played it through on PC, like, long after it had been initially released. And I found it a bit weird in that there was no money sinks in the game. It keep giving you money and you have nothing to do with it. So I ended up just taking taxis everywhere instead of driving. You know? Which kind of defeats the joy of a Grand Theft Auto game to just fast travel everywhere. You know? So I never really learnt my way around that game's city. But again, I beat the story on that, put it down, and never touched it again. And I did get annoyed that I got a bowling tutorial before I got a shooting tutorial in that game. Stupid. I don't mind bowling being in the game, but priorities, mate. Teach me the core mechanics before the sideshow stuff. Piss and bollocks. Alright, best behavior for the rest of this race. I mean, to try and introduce mechanics in a proper way whilst fitting in the game world, maybe one of the first things could have been a trip to a shooting range with Roman. And therefore, you learn the shooting mechanics that are a core component of the game, rather than going bowling. .12 lead. I mean, we've got 3 races left. We've got one more disqualification skip in us. Why have you bought it 5 times, Bear? That's silly. Okay, so we'll do this race. We'll skip race 14. Game done. Lovely. We'll have to make a pig zero of this, in which case we'll do both races. There better be a credit reel after all this shit, though. Oh, good, it's one of the easy tracks. Ah. Yes. I'm not making it look easy by flying like an idiot, but you know, skill issue. Fine. Get this over the line. That will be fine. Biff. Yes, we have reserved Wipeout 3 as the final game. Want to finish on a high, and it is probably the game I'm looking forward to the most out of the ones remaining. We only made that decision a few months ago. We were just going to let it go naturally, but then I decided differently. Yeah, we were starting to run low on remaining good games, so I put one to one side as something to look forward to. It's cool, I've never played Wipeout 3. I played the first two when I was young. Never played the third one. And I believe it's meant to be good. We've already done GT2. That was something like game 70 that came up, so it wasn't an option when I decided to make a pick. Cool. Yeah, champion. About the 15th time we've seen that cutscene now. Another billion in prize money. Hooray. And that's it. No congratulations. No further cup unlocked. All championships beaten. Just double check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 champos, all done. There is the Magic 12 challenge mode, which I'm not really interested in. We did do a couple to see what it is. It's just a bunch of time trials and surprisingly strict time trials. Yeah, that's all championships done. So you see here, all the Magic 12s in all the different classes. The club race mode is just win a single race. Permits all achieved. Championships all achieved. I'm calling that done. But yeah, shame there was no actual thumbs up well done at the end. So screw me, I guess. Right, 8 hours 59. Fifth. Let's do some admin. And that's 1433. Oh wait, oh, we're on the path to 1500 hours of this nonsense now, aren't we? 3-stream game. So that is a good game. I know I've been a bit burnt out and whingy today, but that is a good game. I think graphically the planes look good. The tracks are of a good fidelity, but we're more on that later. The plane handles really nice. It's responsive. It's not under responsive or overly twitchy. You can do what you want with your plane generally. That is good. It is quite fun to engage with. Now, the graphics, I've mentioned, the game looks good, but the tracks are a bit bland and repetitive visually. It's just a different color of surface generally, so that was a bit uninspiring. The music in there was good, wasn't enough of it. So, but again, because of the way I played the game in probably bigger sessions than the game owner would, I did get a bit bored of it. The economy is overly generous, and we discussed this earlier. Hello, Wagon, hope you're well. We discussed this earlier, where in this final block of cups, I was able to just go straight in on the best plane, and it kind of made the game a bit of a formality, which is a shame, And I didn't appreciate the endurance cups, but less said about that bet. So I'm going to give that a 7. Well made game. Oh, I can't not talk about the weapons. Waste of time. Unfortunately, that was one of the biggest flaws. I just explained that the plane handles well, but the combat system is problematic because the control scheme is all on the front face, apart from some extra steering assistance on the shoulders. That's cross to accelerate, square for speed boost. If you want to slow down, you just lift. But then your combat buttons are triangle and circle. So it's triangle to change weapon, circle to use it, but your thumb's already engaged with cross and square. So you've got this really awkward to use weapon system that you then that then doesn't do much anyway, because I never managed to destroy anyone despite launching all my missiles into them. If the effect of using weapons was more pronounced, i.e. just more of an immediate slowdown, you're not really going to take anyone out, but if you could immediately slow them down, that would be good. And if they were easier to use by being on the shoulder buttons, that'd be much better. You also couldn't remap you could remap the buttons, but only on the face. You couldn't move those weapons to the shoulder buttons, and that was just dumb. But that's minor griping. It is a well-made game, but with some better design choices, it could have been better still. You know, well-made game with questionable design choices. Does that sound fair? Yeah. It was so close to being great, but it just wasn't like truly great. It's good, but yeah, just a little bit more thought. You know, they'd done the hard bit. They'd made a well-handling game. Oh, and also the mechanic of going closer to the ground to go faster is really smart. Because in any flying game, it's easy to just take the coward's route, go high as possible so you don't have to engage with the obstacles. But by going faster, by going lower, that is a smart bit of design. Cool. Let's stop voting. Hello, late voter. I see your vote. Oh, mate. So, since the last update, we've had 2 votes for Game 3, taking 360 up to 22 votes. But Europe, stop voting! Because the winner is Taxi 2, which looks awful. Which is why you lot have picked it, isn't it? Taxi 2. Taxi 2. Taxi 2. Should we have a quick reminder of what's coming up there? It was questionable. Like, this is more of a missions game than racing, so it was right on the nose whether this would actually be part of the challenge, but because it's only an hour long, I let it sneak in. This long plays 34 minutes. Even better. Let's have a quick reminder. Correct, Paraglider. Not the only French exclusive game in the challenge, though. Because we also had Paris-Marseille racing. Yeah, as you can see, that looks like absolute bobbins. Right. So, I need to just rebuild this wheel briefly. And we'll spin up some new vote options. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Brief bit of admin. Don't mind me. So, 230. Taxi 2. 60. Stupidest game name, 360. And that's too wordy, so I'm just going to copy that. And it was 24, 22, 8. Biff. Right, let's get some new vote options. Option 1, shuffle, shuffle. Uh-oh. My uh-oh was for Motocross Mania, because you know how badly I get on with motocross games. Runabout 2. This is sounding familiar. What have we done with Runabout? Okay. Long play, 1 hour. I appreciate that. Oh, this is more of a mission swan that I let sneak in because it's small. That's the one, Paraglider. I think I'll have fun with this. Might not be good, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I think we let it sneak in because there's a time limit. Ooh, let me fix that. There you go. Right, option 1. Do we have another option? Yeah, let's have another option. Okay. Your option 2 will be... Oh, please, please. No. Alright, it was actually nowhere near Micro Machines in the end. But that's what I was hoping for. Formula Nippon. Why are you not centered? Fixed. Formula Nippon? I think we've just found Lord Shadowcaster's vote. Not a lot of content there. Racing Art Game Archive, I've spent 2 hours on it. There's go-karts? Have we got a kart-to-car career? We've got story. I am Aguri Suzuki, team director of Formula Nippon. Aw, mate. This could be fun. Okay, so it's just direct. 1 kart, 1 car. That had 60 laps. What? 8 laps. Maybe it was a practice mode nav that you... Yeah, I've just spotted it. No, there we go. He just bailed. That must have been practice. Okay, so we've got that car. Then a third car. Interesting. Okay. Could be good, could be bad. Where's the actual racing? Good question. Position 7 of 16. There we go. Oh dear, that frame rate. Oh no. Oh, okay, there we go. This doesn't bode well. Where is it? Claymation. Right, let's spin a third option. Okay. Right, that's killed my enthusiasm for Formula Nippon. Come on, give us one good option. Oh no, runabout will be fun. Ooh, this could be interesting. Demolition Racer. Oops, if we can spell. No, I see. What is Demolition or Formula Nippon? One of the best racing games, says Calamity. Alright. Good start. Well, that's kind of like Flat Out, doesn't it? An earlier Flat Out. Flat Out. Just paint your own car. Well, it's sold. Where was that fella going? Oh, there's an extra road to the left. There we go. And then you see the car because of PS1's weird clipping issues. Well, it looks like that health bar is just a percentage fill rather than the Destruction Derby localized thing. This is Test Drive 6 engine. Interesting. Test Drive 6 I had a lot of fun with. Was a very early game in the challenge. I think it was like one of the first 10 games I did. I had a lot of fun with it. Well, there we go. We have 3 options. So, I am, 5:30. I'm going to call it a day there. And, I'm going to have an evening to myself. So, we're just going to leave this as an early one. I think. We all know which game is the best out of the 3. Well, clearly Formula Nippon. Never mind. Are there any pals online? We'll be back for more PS1 on Thursday. No pals to raid. Never mind. Bosch could be good. I do appreciate a quick Bosch. We know this. Yeah, I'm gonna go chill. I might be back in the evening. I'm literally just gonna wing it because I can't make my mind up. But thanks loads for hanging out today, guys. If you haven't followed yet and you're enjoying the stuff, please consider giving us that follow. If you want to keep up outside the stream, got a Discord for that. Link is now in the chat. I'm going to go chill out for a bit. Another one bites the dust and another 4 until we get to the last 100 games. I'm quite enthused about that. Next time out, whether it's later or Thursday, it's going to be Taxi 2. Cool. Thanks loads, guys. Hope to see you again soon. Good afternoon.